One of the things that's really great about the EQI is there are different reports that you can choose from. And often when we're working with leadership teams or individual leaders, we most often use the leadership report. The leadership report is great because it takes the information of the EQI and it really puts it in the frame of leadership. And there's some different features that it has that I think really are helpful for leaders. One feature is on the overall, on the bar graph of the overall competencies, it has a gold bar and it gives them a snapshot of how where other leaders scored on that particular competency. That can be an important piece of data for people to look at. I find the leadership bar is most useful when somebody might have a pattern where there isn't anything that jumps right out. And sometimes those are the hardest ones to get people kind of into, and the leadership bar can be a great way to start talking about the competencies a little bit differently. Another thing the leadership report has is it looks at some very specific roles and tasks of leaders in terms of coaching, in terms of providing a vision, and it clusters the competencies around those, and so it gives them a way to kind of pull out some of the competency sets and think about those specific to their leadership. And one of the most, I think, valuable things that the leadership report has to offer is a category that they call leadership derailers. And it looks at 4 competencies that if someone is low in, they're really at risk of kind of knocking them off their tracks as a leader. And I think that those can be a very sobering wake-up call for people to really look at some of those and think about how they may have lots of strengths and they might really be doing a great job, but with some of those, it doesn't take much for them to get knocked off their tracks. And so I really encourage people to look at those leadership derailers and think about their practice as a leader and think about how they might strengthen those to make sure that they don't put themselves at risk for not getting their other strengths used fully.